Sorry, it took me a little while to get on here. I was setting up the project because I usually watch someone else's video and refer you guys there, but I figured it might be easier. That way I can explain it because I usually wind up having to write paragraphs explaining how to do the process anyway. So I'm going to show you guys how to be able to fill in using your pens, your foil engravers, if you're engraving. I'm going to use the pens today as an example, but this can be used, like I said, with the engravers, with the foiling tool, anything you can color in that's usually like a bubble letter, this can work. So on the bottom of the YouTube page, I'm going to have a link to the file. So you're going to open the file and it's going to bring you straight here to the template. So you're immediately going to go to save and save as. And I would write it as that it's a template. And every time that you do a new project, you are going to want to save as. You are not going to want to save because then you are going to save over it and then you're going to have to keep going to my YouTube page and clicking on the link again and then going through that whole process. So every time you work on this page, you are going to want to save as. That way you're creating a new file. I hope you understand that. If not, let's go over it. Ask me questions. But you don't have to do this every time. Right now, we're just setting you guys up to have this template in your files. So save it as what you like. For me, it's easier to remember it as fill-in template. I know what that means. I have a collection of templates, so I know where to find it. And these are a couple of my other templates here. And I'm kind of unorganized when it comes to saving my files. I wish I was a little more organized, considering in life I'm a lot more organized. But yeah, so I have it as saved. I have it saved as fill-in template. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Pretend to save it, even though I have it saved. So now you have this file here in your system. You can take a look at it. You can see it's just a bunch of lines. Nothing we can really do yet because we don't have a project that we're working on yet. But now we can go ahead and start a new project. So let's go to new and let's work on the project. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to keep it kind of short just so you guys can get the gist of it. If you were to be writing on something, on a shape, here you would have your shape. Let's just give it a little color. And you want to write on it. So let's write. And you want to do it in pen. So normally you go up here, you select your pen, and it's in bubble letter, and it's the worst thing in the world, and it's so annoying, and then you have to find a font that works with writing, and there's not that many, and then everyone tells you to go to the font and search, and it's, it's a pain in the butt. But this is an easy process to do it. So what you're going to do is we're going to use this font as an example. So we are going to make sure that we are just on the item that we want to color in. So for this process, it's just the pen. So we are going to copy it, Control C. If you want to make sure that's copied, you can go up to File, Edit, Copy, and then if you have some other stuff working on this, you can start saving this. So you can save this as whatever you would like. I'm just going to say test file. So I'm going to save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my projects. And I'm going to, sorry, I just heard my fiance talking about me, so I had to listen to what he was saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the template, open it up, and we're going to work with it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the writing that we were working on, which was the testing. We're going to paste it. Did it paste? There we go. Let's give it a color just so we can see it better. Let's do that. So we want it in red. So what we are going to do is we are going to put it in this shape. You are more than welcome to cut this shape down if you'd like. I made it a nice big shape because the one that I used to work on was kind of small, and if you expanded it, it didn't work as well, so you'd have to keep attaching new lines, and it just didn't work right. So the way I made it was just bigger, that way you had more room to work off of. I'm going to just make it a little smaller so we have less space to worry about. So I'm just going to slice that extra space off. If my computer wants to work for me. There we go. And now bring the pen back to the top. So now we have a little less space to work on. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go up here and select all. And then we're going to go to the size. And we are going to multiply by 10 in the weight, the width, and the height. So we're going to unlock it. Actually, we don't even have to unlock it. You can just you can do the width and it will automatically do the height. So 6.4. So let's put 64 in here. And then it's going to multiply that by 10 as well. So as you can see, both of the items got so big. You don't have to scroll and look for them. It's fine. We're still working on the layers panel right now. They're both still selected. As you can see in your layers panel, they're both highlighted gray. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go down to slice. As you can see, you'll have both things highlighted, so it allows you to do so. So you're going to hit slice. And what it's doing is it's cutting out the writing out of the lines. So now all you need is the one panel of writing. So we can get rid of this one. We can get rid of the background because we don't need the background anymore. And we can get rid of the slice image. So as you can see, we're left with that, but it's huge. So we're going to select it, and we're going to now divide by 10 again. So it's at 46. Let's do 4.6. And we're back to small. But if you look at the position on the axis here, we are in the middle of the board. So we're just going to go here and type 1 and 1. That way it brings us back to the beginning of the board, and you can just click on it in the layers panel and you're back on it. And if you see it now, it is nice and full. If you were to zoom in on it all the way, you would see that there's a bunch of lines there. So it may be deceiving to the eye zooming in, but we'll see once we fill it that it's going to look like it's filled in. So what we're going to do is we do not want to save this because it will save over the template that we did. And we already have work going on in another file. So we are just going to copy and paste it. If you had nothing else going on in another file, I would just suggest to save as. That way it's a whole brand new file for you. Again, if you're not understanding the saving part, just reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to explain it in better terms. So I'm just going to go up here to File, Edit, Copy, just to make sure. Because sometimes the Control-C doesn't work. And then the last thing I want to do is have to do this again. So I'm going to go to My Projects up here. Go back to the original file, test file. And I'm going to hit Replace. I not want to save it. I'm going to replace it and go bye-bye. So I'm going to take this original writing, go back again to the test file, replace, delete this. There we go. Okay, so pretend all that didn't happen. So now we have it here, and we have our project right now. But before we do anything, before we make it, we want to make sure that it's going to come out where we put it. If we put it anywhere and not attach it, it's going to come out on another mat. So you want to select all and hit attach before you make it. That will ensure that this testing will stay exactly where I put it on the mat. So let's go make it. As you can see, it is all together. So I'm going to jump off of here and go on my phone, and we're going to go watch it print out. Okay, so I'm at my computer now, my Cricut now I should say, and we're going to go ahead and make this file. I'm going to do it on cardstock. I'm sorry if you hear my fiance in the background, he's working from home. So, what is this here? That might be the file, the video file. Let's just move that over because I don't know what that is. So continue. Grade 3. For this, I'm just going to cut out some cardstock. It's not heavy cardstock, but I just usually always take heavy cardstock. And I'm going to use a black pen. You just threatened me with your logic, right? So I have the black pen ready. I'm going to stick that in here. I'm trying to look at the camera and the phone at the same time, so I'm a little all over the place. So, stick this in. And remember, we went from bubble letters originally, and we're looking to fill this in completely now. So, let's see if my little trick works. Alright, it's going. It takes a while. Like I said, this also works for foiling and engraving. I tried it on engraving an ornament. It came out good. I did it upside down, though I didn't really do that correctly. I can show you some work. I'm getting married in October. So I did a little practicing here. Hold on. I can show you what... Aha, I knew I had it somewhere. So this is using the trick with the foiling tool. As you can see, it's nice and filled in. And then I use the debossing tool as well on this. This is using the trick, so you can see that it's nice and filled in as well. The cardstock's really thick, so you can't really see it on the other side. But yeah, nice and full. I'm playing around with imitations right now, so I'm doing a little bit of practicing. This was another little practice. So this is all 3 tips, and as you can see, the bold tip worked the best. You really got to play around with it, and it's definitely a trial and error. So you're gonna get some imitations that are not gonna come out right. So you're definitely gonna waste some paper. Here's another emblem, debossing. So, but yeah, the foiling comes out very nice when it works, and the trick works out very nicely. So, you can definitely utilize this little trick to color in many things. I'd like to see videos of me doing the engraving or the foiling tip or debossing using this coloring filling in trick. Just let me know. Shoot a comment. I'd be more than happy to do it. I have all the time in the world, and it's just more practice for me. So let's take a look at what it's doing now. As you can see, it's still going, but you can also see that it is being filled in. So we have bold letters, not bubble letters. So I'm going to let this run a little bit. I won't keep you on, but we'll take a look at it when it's done. Cutting now, and we're just about done. Look at that. It is all filled in, and if you look very closely, you cannot even tell that those are just individual lines that it did. Isn't that amazing? So worth it, so easy. Definitely worth it. And Like I said, it's an easy trick. Might take you a little bit just to get used to like how to save and stuff, and remembering the rule by 10, but just write the steps down. I'll write the steps down for you in YouTube, and I'm always available to reach out to. So feel free to shoot a comment. You can reach out to me personally. I'm always on Facebook. You can shoot me an email, idunowinks@gmail.com. Lindsay Austerman on Facebook. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a little messy. This was my first video, but we made it, and we were in the end successful. So there we go.